Of course, I wasn't born till 81, you know, and there was a long period before that. And those iron works were run for quite a number of years. And then the steel came in, and they couldn't compete with them. Of course, the people in the county didn't come to Lancaster like they would today, because the transportation was difficult. We had a little railroad that ran from Lancaster down to Quarryville, and I think the train left Quarryville at 7 o'clock, something like that, and it took us about 3 hours to get up to. We stopped at every station, you know, with either to take on something. Well, going back, it was always to put something off, and to come up. Why, we'd stop to pick things up to bring to Lancaster, the freight. And sometimes we'd stop at a station and they'd go back and look for it, and maybe we'd spend 15 minutes or half an hour getting ready to leave. And in the wintertime, you almost prayed for snow, because then you had the sleighs, and it was much easier to get around in a sleigh.
What about communication between people then? How much did everybody know? How did you get your information then?
Why, writing letters. And my grandfather, that was the one thing in his life I don't think ever missed getting the mail every day. And we had to go 2 miles and a half to get the mail. And as a child, that was one of my chores. And I either rode horseback, or I had a little two-wheeled cart. It looked like a racer. You know, it had a step at the back, and that's the way you got in. And of course, when the horse trotted, we trotted with it, you know. And in wintertime, that was all right in summertime, but in wintertime, and we had a big, great big buffalo robes we wrapped ourselves in to keep warm.
Was the mail as good as a method of communication as today? Let's say, compare those days with the present in terms of how people heard about things.
Oh, well, we had what the stagecoach would come from. It came from Lancaster went from Lancaster down. I think it went as far as, I don't know, Fairfield, Peach Bottom. It went down, and it was supposed to get, I think, to the Buck at 11 o'clock. And it usually got there at 12:30. You sat and waited. And I know I warmed the boards of the porch most every day. And of course, when the telephone rang, the whole neighborhood went to listen to what. And that, a great deal of news got around that way. Oh, the people were full of that. They could, and sometimes people would be listening to the phone, they'd get excited, they'd join in the conversation. I think it was about 1928 I got a radio. And it sat right here. And I don't know, I guess none of you remember One Man's Family. But there was a story, One Man's Family, and it ran for, I don't know how many years, 20 or 30 years, I think. And I remember distinctly it came on just about dinner time, a little after. And how we would rush sometimes, if it was a special time, we rushed from the dinner table to get in to hear the story of One Man's Family, and you know, it never ended. And that was one thing. I never liked to listen to something that don't end. And as a rule, when people came to stay with you, they brought a great deal of luggage with them. And they stayed at least 2 weeks. Nobody ever would ever think of coming and spending the weekend. It was just out. And of course, grandfather always sent the carriage for the guests, and then they sent something else to carry the luggage.
What is your opinion about all this, the modern communications, like telephone, television, satellite, the way that we now deal with each other? How do you feel about the modern way of communicating?
Well, it's a wonderful world to live in today, but I don't think we're any happier. I'm not any happier than I was in those days. Of course, in those days, I thought I had everything that everybody had. I thought I had a little more than everybody else had because I really had no cares at all. And at that time, it wasn't difficult to get anybody to help. In my youth, I had no worries. And
but for everybody, for the
well, and I think everybody was friendly. Everybody knew everybody else, and it was a nice life. It was a good life. There was a great deal of family life, I would say.
And in terms of the now,
it's so different now because the family life isn't what it used to be. As the children grow up, they want to, they seek more independence, I suppose. And yes, they do. They want to be independent. I don't know whether it's wrong or right. And there are loads of marvelous people living.
So you're an optimistic person.
But I'm most interested in the youth of today because they're the people that are going to carry on this country, this nation. And I want them to hold their patriotism and love the country like the old fellows did, like our ancestors did. Because everything you got in the world, I don't care what you say, depends on what kind of people you have at the head of your government.